Hey WordPress users and just everyone who is into website building. Even if you're not a fan of Elementor, you certainly know these guys who developed this page builder which won the appreciation of so many users worldwide. I got a chance to have a talk with a member of this great team. Ben is a Chief Marketing Officer of Elementor and exclusively for Template Monster. He shared what updates to expect in the nearest future, what Elementor creators think of Gutenberg project, how to choose a WordPress theme compatible with Elementor, and what plugins are must-have for WordPress users. This and so much more in a talk with Ben Pines. Enjoy watching! Hi everyone, it's Alexandra Payne with you, and today I'm joined by Ben Pines, a Chief Marketing Officer of Elementor Page Builder. Hi Ben!
Hi everybody!
How are you doing today?
I'm great, feeling good.
It's great having you today. Thanks for joining me. And what should we start with? I guess the first question will be regarding your very first activities in web design industry.
I started back in 2006 in an SEO firm, doing SEO and content marketing. Then I quit my job after a few years and started my own business, where I created affiliate marketing websites. So we did pretty much everything from the marketing perspective to finance. So this gave me the whole perspective of managing a business and promoting it. And that's how that was my first steps, I would say.
Yeah, thanks. Are you trying to keep up with all the updates in SEO and content marketing world, like to stay updated?
I probably don't get as updated as I should, but I try. I don't just limit myself to learning about like SEO and content marketing. I think that's a common mistake that people like SEO professionals, they just subscribe to the SEO blogs. So I think that you should subscribe to the people that create the best content, because it won't, like, the insights won't necessarily come from your specific niche. So I try to find the most important content in terms of content creation, writing and marketing and YouTube videos. So I pretty much I have a varied stream that I follow.
Okay, I'd like to ask you about Elementor. This is the page builder which people were talking a lot about recently. It has been growing more and more popular. And when you joined Elementor team, was it just like very little company with a couple of people who were working on it, or was it like a huge team? How was it like when you just started working with Elementor?
Yeah, we started really just a few. When I joined the company, it was just I was, I think, the 5th team member, and now we're over 20. So it's a huge growth. And when I started out, I did also for this company pretty much. I had to do everything because there was. Is the connection good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's good. Sorry.
So yeah, so I did pretty much everything, and then we quickly grew. I mean, this was only a year and a half ago, so it's amazing to see how much the community has grown and developed as a community and as a product.
Yeah, and Elementor is now called one of the best page builders like ever. And you're constantly releasing new updates and add-ons to Elementor. For instance, pretty recently you released the new tool for creating contact forms.
Yeah.
Could you please tell a little bit more about this tool, this update?
Yeah, the form widget is one of the most popular widgets in Elementor Pro, because form is a very vital part of any website. It gives you the conversions and the connections that you need. And our form builder really introduced something that was really new to WordPress, which was working on forms, designing forms visually. So this was very popular among our users, and we got a lot of feedback for this widget, and that's why we've extended it. And now we've also added upload, so you can the user can submit their files, upload their files, and date and time, so people can schedule appointments, and acceptance field, which is also vital, so people can press the check mark accepting your terms, or if you're going to send them newsletters, it's important to get their consent. So these and a few other fields and features for the form, and now it's making the form widget a lot more powerful and a lot more usable by our users. So they have one less plugin to worry about,
Yeah, I guess this is great. The fact that you're constantly updating your product is just dragging more and more people to it. I guess this is great, and I see that Elementor continues developing. And could you please tell what you're working on now and what you're going to release in the nearest future? Like what other updates, add-ons, tools, whatever?
Yeah, there really is an endless number of things you can work on and add features for existing and new widgets. But what we're working on currently is really the next generation of Elementor. So this is a big project of ours. We've been working on it for several months. And if you think about it, Elementor deals mostly with the content of the page. And now we're going beyond that. So you can use Elementor to design your headers, your footers, other areas of your website, your archive page, your blog page. So this will introduce new challenges to Elementor, but also make it a much more amazing tool than it already is.
Yeah, so it's going to be a really big update, like a huge update. And can you tell what is going to change the difference between Elementor Page Builder and its competitors? Is it going to widen the gap which exists? Like Visual Composer, there are a lot of videos and blog posts comparing Elementor and other builders, like Elementor versus Visual Composer, or versus Beaver Builder. What could you tell about the this competition? What's your opinion on it?
Well, I mean, if you're going into feature wars, it's pretty problematic because next week the competitor can turn up with another new feature. So what we've done to overcome this, and this is a challenge that a lot of companies face. What we've done is try to excel at the most important key factors that we think are key factors for a page builder, which is speed. So everything you do, it works fast. You're designing a page, you don't want to drag and drop and then have to wait. So this was the instant reaction that we got from users was because of that, because they were like, oh, I don't have to wait. And it's important, even a second of waiting is important in terms of the user. The second thing that we wanted to excel at was in terms of design. So give you not only an ability to create boring pages, but give you features that are a bit, professional designer oriented, like shape divider or box shadows. So these were the two big things that we had in mind, and also having it all live, so you don't have any guesswork. You don't work with short codes and work on the back end and then go, flip through. This is how we used to create websites in the past, like flip through the back end and the front end. Everything you do is on the front end, so you don't have to switch. I think these three key values that we placed in front of our eyes guiding our vision really made the difference. Of course, what I talked about, going beyond the page element, will also make a huge difference in terms of our competitors, hopefully.
Yeah, totally. And it's been said that Elementor has made the work with WordPress way easier, both for developers and for regular users, like who don't know how to use code, and they don't have to, thanks to Elementor. So it's also a great update, and I'm sure that users, this is one more reason why users really appreciated Elementor. And the next question I'd like to ask you is, what do you think on the Gutenberg update, which is going to be, this is a plugin, I'm sure you know about it, and it's going to be built in the new version of WordPress. Like now WordPress is 4.9, and the new version 5.0 is going to be with this editor. What do you think on it? What's going to change like in the Elementor plus WordPress interaction?
Okay, so we've been keeping a close eye on the Gutenberg project because we want to promote it. I think it's important for WordPress to have this visual side of content creation that you see on Medium and Squarespace and other competitors. So I think it's important for maintaining the growth of WordPress. Plus, in Elementor, we started working on different compatibility to Gutenberg. We recently fixed an issue that rose when switching from Gutenberg to Elementor, and we think that, I mean, we're gonna continue to do those changes as we see how this project progresses, because we don't actually know right now how it will implement in the core of WordPress, and we need to see exactly what direction it develops to, and of course we'll adapt and make the necessary compatibility and changes and updates.
And it has been said that, demo for Gutenberg editor was available for several months already, and there were some thoughts that the appearance of Gutenberg can mean the end of all the visual page builders. What do you think of that? Can that become true or not? What's your opinion?
I think that the options are open. I mean, that's certainly a possibility that Gutenberg will affect page builders and theme providers. I have to say that I'm skeptical about an actual threat, because, I mean, you always have user preference. I mean, even now, people are using different page builders, even page builders that are far worse than Elementor. So I think people have their own uses and ideas, but it's going to be interesting. I'm sure that it's going to, there are a lot of direction it can branch out into. I mean, both in terms of what theme providers and plugin developers will do, and in terms of what direction WordPress itself will take it.
Okay, so yeah, I just guess we're going to see how it's going to turn out and what people will think and what the feedback will be. And
Definitely.
you mentioned template providers and pre-made templates for WordPress. I mean, a lot of template providers, such like even freelancers or Template Monster, release pre-made WordPress templates with Elementor included in it. Have you ever checked out the quality of such templates, and what would you say in terms of such product?
Well, I recently, just for this interview, actually, I looked into the Template Monster templates. I think there were over 100. You're blushing.
Thanks.
No. and yeah, they look really cool, really professional, and I was really happy with the results. I have seen, though, some freelancers who who posted about their templates and they were hideous. So that was a while back ago, I think, when we just got started. The thing is, when Elementor was launched, the people that adopted it at first were mostly, the early adopters, which are not necessarily the top designers. As we progressed, as the year went by, and now a year and a half after we launched, we see, it's totally different. Now we have top professional designers drawn to it. But back then, I've seen some really hideous templates. So, yeah, and our template library already has like over 130 templates. Dozens of free templates. So that's a good starting point for users. But for someone who's looking for a specific template for their specific need or niche, it's a great solution to have, external theme template providers like yourself doing it. Yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, great. Thanks a lot. It's really nice of you. It's nice to hear. And also, there is like an opinion that not all the WordPress themes, the pre-made ones, not all of them are compatible with Elementor. If it's true, how to choose the proper theme which will be compatible with this page builder, or what to do if you already got the one which does not go with Elementor?
So there are like hundreds of, tens of thousands of themes, I think, available. So we publish like the themes that we have tested and recommend on our website. But what I would suggest is that if you do see a problem with your theme, first you need to find out if it is the theme. So you can switch to a different theme like 2016 or GeneratePress and see if the problem is solved. Then that's the culprit. You should blame your theme provider. And then I would contact the theme provider, see if they can solve the issue. Sometimes it's a really small issue that can be solved. And now we're approaching 500,000 active installs in Elementor. So it's impossible to cover the entire spectrum of themes, but most themes that are built correctly will work fine with Elementor if they use the proper code standards and they don't, mess around too much. Then it should work fine.
Yeah, that's great. I guess it's good news for a lot of users who are not really, familiar with all of the standards. They have to look for searching for a theme. It will really help.
Well, plus, we're seeing a lot of theme providers contacting us and saying that they've used, some horrible old page builder and they want to switch to Elementor. And Astra theme and ThemeIsle. So there are like huge theme providers that are now themes that work, or customizing their previous themes to work even better with Elementor. ThemeGrill is another great theme provider.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of plugs now.
Well, we have been talking today for a while about different plugins you can use working with WordPress. Do you have such a set of essential plugins every, for instance, blogger, the person who runs a blog on WordPress should use? What are the necessary plugins for running a blog, for instance? Yeah,
well, first of all, a good rule of thumb is not to use too many plugins. So, and we've tried to, by using Elementor already, you can rid yourself of maintenance mode plugins, form plugin we talked about, and a few other plugins that you just don't need. And it's less. It's a faster website means a faster website and less options for errors and conflicts. But I would use some. Security is a huge issue today. So having let's say, a plugin to monitor if people try to, hack your website. There's a plugin actually that we released for free called Activity Log that you can use, and you switch it on and you suddenly see that a lot of bots are trying to log into your websites. It's really frightening. So if you're faint of heart, don't use this plugin because suddenly you see that people are trying to access your website. So security is a huge issue. There's a two-factor authentication plugin. I think it's called Clef that is cool. Yoast SEO plugin is something that I use to make sure everything is nicely prepared for in terms of SEO. If you have a store, of course, you'll use WooCommerce. I mean, it really depends on what kind of website you're trying to create. Image optimization, Auto-Optimize is a great plugin. WP Rocket also for caching, making your website faster. But that's the two issues I would recommend, like having a caching plugin and having some sort of security plugin.
Okay, thank you. I guess we can, wrap the thing up. And I really enjoyed talking with you today. And thanks for joining me. Thanks for this interview.
Thank you. It was fun talking to you as well.
Yeah, it was really interesting and educational for me and for our visitors and our viewers on YouTube. And thank you so much. And I hope we can have another interview later, like about new successes of Elementor. Thank you so much.
Definitely. Bye-bye.
Bye. If you enjoyed this interview, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell not to miss the new ones. Who are we going to interview next? Stay tuned and you'll find out very soon.